Ladies and gentlemen,
now tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
This is the Hype Reality Podcast.
listen,
Hype-reality.com.
listen, or I'll kill ya.
Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Hype Reality Podcast. My name is Emilio, aka Triple D, aka the Dominican Dirk Diggler, along with my co-host
Ephraim.
and back for the third time.
Big T, the Black Ranger.
Yes, we got the Black Megazord in the building. Yeah, man, let's get right into it. Let's talk about some shit.
There seems to be like a white porn business and a black porn business.
The industry is very racist. There's no doubt about it. There's a white industry and there's a very small culture for us to do interracial, and it's not even enough of a culture for some performers to survive.
You guys know about Lisa Ann? We spoke about her like a couple podcasts ago.
I know this guy knows
I know what.
about Lisa Ann.
No, I don't.
I thought that was like one of your favorites.
Lisa Ann?
Yeah.
Nah, Rachel Starr is one of my favorites.
Uh,
But
That bitch can hop.
yeah,
well, for the layman, like, who is Lisa Ann? Like,
Lisa Ann is like a...
people don't think like we're the biggest Lisa Ann fans because
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Nah, go ahead though.
Bitch bad. She's been doing porn for like 20-something years. She started like in the mid-early 90s. And yeah, man, she really brought that whole like MILF porn to the forefront. And then she got really big recent years with that Nail and Palin shit. And real recently, she's been like producing, directing her own content. And by content, I mean fuck videos. And a lot of which are with black dudes. And she gave a pretty cool interview on Vlad TV just recently.
I just went through this with someone who did her first interracial. And so, they charge more for their first interracial movie, which again, in the real world with a paycheck, hello affirmative action, that would not be legal. And she said to me, well, after my first movie, how much more can I charge per scene for interracial? And my answer to her was this: well, it depends how racist you are.
You guys check that shit out, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
You guys watch porn, right?
who doesn't?
What do you guys...
You fair this?
No, I was seeing where y'all gonna go with it, whatever. Man, yeah, it's been some real facts, man. Like, I've been saying the same shit for years. I mean, it's kind of puts me in a weird position because I look at porn and from time to time, I'm not gonna say how much or how little, but but it definitely is a small knit, very racist community in terms of the stuff the stereotypes and the tropes that they perpetuate. And she gave a pretty good interview and basically discussing that, and in certain kind of weird way, she's like almost like a freedom rider, like just kind of
no pun intended.
Yeah, they're like just kind of propelling and like rebelling against the stereotypes and the taboos of the industry. Because someone
Sticking
like
it to the man.
basically by letting the brother man stick her. But like, but basically, like that for most people that are familiar with porn, like someone like a Lisa Ann, like some of these bigger white women with names, like they usually only stick to just having sex with white guys, and there's definitely a taboo in with these white women fucking black dudes, and a lot of times they're either discouraged altogether from doing it, or if they do it, they're either it's seen as like kind of hustling backwards. Like,
Yeah.
you're either gonna get paid less, or you want to get paid more to offer up that white twat to an up and coming black male performer. And it's kind of this weird thing that's been going on in the industry for years. So it's kind of cool that she took the time to highlight it.
Why do you think that exists though? I mean, it's just, to me, I think it's just part of American culture in certain ways, in different aspects, and it just happens in porn too.
I don't know.
It shouldn't be that way, but
I don't know the statistics, but pretty sure just because white guys are actually buying porn. I'm not sure the last time you guys actually paid for porn ever. You guys ever paid for porn?
No, thank God.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Like if white guys, and like I always forget about this, how like they still are the ridiculous majority. I'm pretty sure they pay for 110% of the porn because I don't know anybody that pays for that shit. And I'm hoping the dollars, kind of put that voice out there. Like they don't want to see these black guys, ripping apart their precious ivory twat. But it is kind of weird, man, because you see, like, if you watch any documentaries, you watch interviews, or you just watch porn, you see the obvious trend there. Like, if you see a white chick that has never fucked any black dudes, like, ever, and all of a sudden she does that, it's automatically looked at like, okay, she's reaching, or she's desperate, or like, okay, well, I guess she's not big deal anymore. Like, they automatically start bringing her down, or bringing down that particular person. It's not just like, okay, she's, moving in a different direction. She's crossing over. She's panning or whatnot.
Well, I think like a lot of like obviously the bigger production companies and porn, and where the big dollars and cents are, it's
Yeah.
like in like these all white ensembles of people. And I think if you were to ask any of them, like what's that company that does like the little like the Pirates of the Caribbean shit?
Oh, Digital Playground.
Yeah, like those guys, they would probably argue, say, oh, it's just a branding thing. But like, we know it goes bigger than that. Like, we know like how long porn has been going on. And I think, again, it probably started off like, as like a fear thing. It's like, okay, we don't want to upset our primarily male white audience by having
Right.
like, these guys coming through and fuck our women. So we're going to stick with this. And pretty soon that became like the norm.
Since they're buying the content.
Yeah. So like, but at the same time, I feel like it's very like an old model of things. I think that like people have to get past that, and I feel like the industry too is a little behind. That they're selling their audience too short. I think most guys don't give a fuck what that guy looks like as long as that girl's performing and doing what she does. I think a lot of people can care less. Of course, you're gonna have some people that just don't want to see that shit, but I think
a lot of those motherfuckers are dying out.
Yeah,
I think a lot
exactly.
of those guys can't even get erections anymore. So that's kind of fucking weaning them out.
But it's that taboo is specifically like on like white women and their whiteness. Over like, you don't really see that too much with like white men. There's no one's really concerned about who white men are having sex with and fucking. Like they can basically go
anybody.
across the rainbow and have sex with black, Asian, white, Spanish. Like that's everything. But with white women in particular, it seems to
White
be a
guys.
thing. Yeah.
White guys, everything. White women, white guys.
Yeah,
If that's not
a
white
black-
privilege,
a
I don't
black
know what the
woman
hell
can
it
say,
is.
I'm not gonna sleep with a white dude. You know what I mean? The
Huh?
reverse doesn't happen. Like a black performer can't be like, well, I don't want to sleep with this white guy. Like, you better pay me more. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I'm
what-
sure there's a number of them that choose to do that.
Yeah, but as far as like it bringing down their stock, if they actually did it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it hurts
They
the
can't-
shit
they
out of
can't-
them,
They
like-
can't charge more, or say pay me more money if you want me to have sex with this white guy.
There's not too many like black chick porn stars that are like super big that I'm aware of. Like in regards to like, there's always this like crossover thing. Like if they branch over, like they're in Brazzers or like, cause Bang Bros fucks everybody. Like Bang Bros, they fuck every and anything. But like in Brazzers or like Digital Playground and stuff like that, like the bigger sites,
I
like
don't even know all these companies. I mean, I know Brothers and Bang Bus, but
don't get on your high horse over there, mister. Like,
I'm just saying. I'm like Digital Playground. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you watch as much as all of us.
You're familiar
I just
with,
watch the
you're
shit. I
familiar
don't know
with
who
their work.
produces it. I just watch the shit.
Well, I like to do my research. But yeah, like there's like that Skin Diamond chick. There's that fucking a girl named Diamond Jackson. A lot of them are kind of weaning out, and it sucks because like all those chicks, the reason why they're getting that kind of like attention is because they're sucking in fucking white dudes. Like I've never seen on Brazzers a black on black scene. Like I've never seen a black chick and a black dude. Like that shit has not happened. Seen a lot of black chicks fuck white dudes, a lot of times, but
That's the fucked up thing about like with the white women thing. Like when I was a kid, I also didn't know any of this shit. All I wanted to do was see titties. I didn't care who
yeah,
they were on.
definitely.
But
Okay.
like with the white women in the industry, like it's very much, and that's the whole point of Lisa Ann's thing. Like it's very much a conscious decision. Like I'm gonna stay away from you guys,
Staying away from the brothers.
because you guys are gonna fuck up my money or whatever. That's all it comes down to is dollars and cents. But again, within that, the argument of dollars and cents is it's racism, like plain and simple. And
How does Charlemagne put it? Stay away from them Biebers.
yeah, I guess so.
Pretty much.
But,
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like I fucking stumbled across like Nikki Benz, who's like a ridiculously popular porn star. She just did her first interracial scene, like I think within the last month, with fucking Lex Steele. Pretty sure everybody in this room knows who that guy is, especially this guy. Definitely.
Not pointing at me.
Yes, Lex Steele's big on the whole blacks on blondes genre kind of shit. He's he's done a lot to break the walls of color barriers and shit in porn and pussies. And it was just kind of weird when I saw it. I was kind of like, because lately I haven't seen her on Brazzers as much, or like Naughty America and these other porn sites that she's usually really popular on. And she's also been kind of like, usually when I see chicks start doing nothing but anal or start doing black dudes or gangbangs and shit, like the trend in porn is that they're falling off or something's off. And then all of a sudden, like, I seen her do a lot of anal scenes whenever she's on Brazzer. Then out of nowhere, she fucks this black dude. And I'm like, fuck, man. I guess that's it. I guess she's like, fuck, like,
You're contemplating all this while...
yeah, well, a lot goes in my mind.
I don't even,
Yeah, she's falling off.
I don't even think about that shit ever. But I mean, again, I get the stigma or whatever, because like, again, like in that pool of like, that pool of like colored performers, there isn't like, that's not where the money is, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're out there fucking in Hood Bitches Volume 3 or whatever, you're not getting paid the type of money they're getting paid over there at at Brazzers or even like the mainstream like porn stuff. Like, you're not getting Katie Morgan money. That's my point. So I don't know.
That's an old reference.
Katie Morgan. That's like a big name. Not everyone that listens to this shit is gonna be watching porn. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, oddly enough, though,
Lex Steele, though, he even says there are some white women in the industry that do want to have interracial sex.
yeah,
But they stay away from it because of their managers or like
that's what Lisa Ann was
husband's
talking
boyfriend. Yeah, and they're like, and he thinks it's just a part of like American culture. They just transcend it into porn. But I can't really say even transcend it. It's just been a part of porn. Like, it's always been a part of porn. But
Yeah, I mean that's the problem especially when you have to, with porn being what it is now or has been for the past I would say like 20 years, and its proliferation, it has to market towards these niche groups, and a lot of times these people are just lazy, so they just want to revert to the stereotypes and the tropes of certain groups in order to reach these little bit of markets. And a lot of times, like, these people just revert to like just in these inherently racist,
like,
things.
you look at the titles of these fucking porns. Like, you guys want to take a guess at what the scene and or DVD that Nikki Benz Fuck Lex Steele was called?
Go for it.
Take a guess.
Ghetto Gaggers.
No, well, yeah, no. Jungle Fever. Nikki Benz Jungle Fever. Wow.
And that's like pretty mild comparison to the shit I see.
Yeah.
Whenever like some of the stuff like
Black giant gorilla ravages white twat cunt. Like,
basically, yeah, it's like those descriptions. And it's
Black Colossus.
and I always notice that too. Like, anytime they have like, even if it's just like one black guy and one white girl, no matter what they're doing,
It can't be like Doctor Fucks Nurse.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
when dingo fucks white whore in the mouth and ass. Like, it's like, damn. I don't know. So it's like there's a weird kind of moment for you. It's like when my horniness trumps my racism, because like at this point I'm very much well aware of the shit that goes on in porn and like, and then how they portray particularly black males. But I think everyone kind of gets it. Like, if you're a Japanese female or like a Spanish female or whatever, every group gets it. But god damn, that shit is entertaining. Like, gets the job done, I guess. Yeah,
I ain't stopping watching it anytime soon, but we're just putting it out there, man.
Yeah.
Switch it up, but don't
Next
make it
time you
bad.
watch
but how would
porn.
they switch it up if we continue to watch what they put out? Like,
Oh, maybe if some of us are paying for the shit, that might help out.
that's the problem with porn, though. It's like create this kind of wheel within a wheel. So even like the smaller, potentially black-owned production companies, when they make their own videos and they put out their own images, they stay within that wheelhouse. So you'll still have like those black dudes and that make their own videos, but they'll very much still be like the Mandingo or gangster dudes, and they'll have these poor little white girls getting the shit fucked out of them, saying, "Oh, give me your fucking nigger cock," and all this stupid shit.
Black Zilla.
It's like, damn, man. Like, I don't know. We almost got to kind of transcend some of these images and what we demand out of our porn. I mean, can we not have quality porn and racism? Do they have to go hand in hand? Like,
Racism is in a lot of shit. It's just like a
But that one is the most blatant, though. I mean, you can say it about like movies and shit like that, but that one, it's clearly like like, oh yeah, we're gonna fuck the cleaning lady today. Oh, say something in Spanish. Oh, Spanish fly.
Yeah,
Ah.
that shit is bad.
Or like fucking like just. It's like
chorizo.
What chorizo?
What'd you say?
Give me that sausage.
And a lot of these porns, it doesn't matter what it is. Like it is one white guy usually, or a lot of white guys, and then any girl, no matter if she's not white, there's all these fucking like these things that just come into play automatically. If you're this fucking Asian girl, you're some fucking schoolgirl, fucking Hirojuku Barbie bitch or whatever, and you're like, oh please, yes, master, and like
They
whatever the
dress them
fuck.
up like in those anime.
Yeah, it's like some fucking weird Sailor Moon, fucking Chung Li
Yeah.
shit. And then if you're like some Spanish bitch, you're like a maid or some spicy some shit A Street Latina bitch. And then it just goes for days and days. If you're some European broad, you're like some Euro slut or something. It's kind of weird how they just do it. And always the white guy is just like this fucking hetero super American dude, like jock football player. It's like, yes, I can help you. Now suck this cock.
Or he's
And-
just a regular dude. Like there's no thought process into him. Like, oh
yeah, exactly.
We're gonna make this girl. We're gonna give her pigtails and we'll give her like a Sailor Moon outfit, and she's gonna talk like this and blah blah blah. What about that guy? Whatever. Just make him fuck that girl. Like,
And you're gonna go suck Tom over there. Tom, you okay with that? Well, sure, I guess. Like, meh.
but there's obviously a long history in this country in particular about like protecting our white women from these black wildebeests. And it's funny seeing that translating into porn, but it also just kind of adds to the taboo, and within that taboo, create a very niche type of porn where where white guys like to see their white girlfriends or wives drilled out by black dudes. It's like a whole genre called, what's it called? Cockhold, where you're presumably watching a white husband film his wife get drilled out by some random black
Correction.
dude.
There's somebody filming a white guy watching his wife get fucked by a black guy.
It goes both ways. I've seen it where you hear the fucking guy like behind the camera like, oh yeah, honey, you like that black cock? Oh yeah, you do.
Got it for your birthday. You like this, right?
Oh man,
Happy birthday, honey.
Oh, we're just some sick people. That's all it comes down to.
Do you think you're white?
Yellow girl.
You're not black.
I was trying to make up for not being black enough.
Dark Girls ignited a worldwide trending conversation. Now, the sequel.
On to the next one. More black shit, I guess. What else? Got a chock
More
full
black shit.
list of
This
black
show
problems.
is just black shit.
Okay, Moolies. You can take the wheel on this one.
So Bill Duke is continuing his series on exploring the issues between dark-skinned women, but this time he's taking it with part 2 of his docuseries Light Girls.
Redbone.
That's gonna premiere on.
Wait, that's what it means?
what?
You didn't know that?
Red bone means light skinned chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
I
that?
thought that was yellow bone.
Same shit, whatever. Anyways, so he's basically gonna be exploring what it's like to be light-skinned female in this documentary, and obviously there's obviously an interest in it. I think, especially in the last couple of years with an internet and people getting on this like team dark skin, team light skin shit, and I'm sure like for a lot of people it sparked a lot of conversations that a lot of people were outside of the black community were immune to. It, even know it was an issue, because they're probably just looking like, man, I just thought you guys were all black, but apparently not. So, but it's interesting if you're ever bored enough and you want to entertain yourself or make yourself feel really sad, just go and type in hashtag team dark skin or hashtag team light skin and see how far people take these stereotypes all to like skin
You
tone.
see a lot of jokes on Drake, making fun of Drake and shit.
Ah, man, that sucks.
And it
Well,
gets
that one's
worse.
easy.
It gets
Yeah.
worse.
I don't even. That's a
of
light
course.
skin, dark skin thing. I think that's like
course.
a gay straight thing. Like he's too easy. Like he's a big target for all that shit. But yeah, there's a lot of light skinned ones behind that too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it has like real deep historical significance and roots in terms of where these stereotypes come from. But it's kind of sad and weird that people continue it and sometimes even willingly accept it for themselves, like these roles that are cast upon them based on their skin tone. And it's, I don't know. What do you guys think about that shit?
I agree with you. Like there are a few things that I find more entertaining than watching two black people talk about light skin, dark skin, or actually a group of black people talk about that. It is the most entertaining conversation in the world. But it's like fucking pointless. It's so fucking stupid, and I think it's another way of them kind of like just. It's like another way of them finding a reason to go against each other. It literally has no significance whatsoever in regards to like one person talking shit to another person. It's just another way of doing it. But it is stupid funny, ridiculous fucking funny. If you guys haven't had that, get more black friends. Just let me set the landscape right now.
Well,
E-frame, light skinned black guy, Torn dark as fuck. I'm not black.
Dark as fuck. I'm
Let's
dark.
go. Let's go with this.
Y'all see how sensitive he is, man. so let's give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, so what are the stereotypes that for light skinned people versus dark skinned people? To the best of your knowledge, as someone who's not black.
Supposedly light skinned dudes are soft as baby shit. I don't know. Usually they're like usually considered like pretty boys and shit. More accessible to white girls, like, or more palatable to white girls, and or Spanish chicks. They do pretty good in that market too. Better chance that they use deodorant. I don't.
Yeah, cut that shit out. You gonna piss people off with that.
I never heard that one. Okay, so what about
I just made that one up.
what about dark skinned people? So what's that?
Stronger, faster, jump higher.
Playing into them stereotypes, man.
Hey, but this is valid stuff. I mean, this is the message he's receiving somehow, somewhere.
More prone to violence and or gang activity and or jail time. Less likely to get a job.
Oh god, it's rough out here, bro. These dudes.
All I gotta say is I'm pretty successful as fuck at the age of 29. Never been to jail.
Oh, God.
Make good money. And I'm doing all right. I still get my fair share of Latino women.
Hey, put that gun away. I don't know. I mean, we'll focus on the guys for a second. We'll get back to the girls. But for me, I feel like the funny thing about the whole light-skinned dude shit, whatever, I kind of feel out of place with it because all these stereotypes I feel definitely don't fit me. Another one you kind of hinted on was like the light-skinned dudes being emotional. Like I don't consider myself emotional or a pretty boy. I'm pretty calm, cool, collected, and I'm definitely not no bitch. That's
I won't let that be known.
That's the one thing that irritates me to no end, especially now. I guess with the conversation,
you get emotional about it, right?
Huh? Not emotional about it, but like it just kind of a thing I have to deal with. Especially now that people this is how they're being informed about light-skinned people or light-skinned dudes. They think they can try you or some shit, and I'm the wrong one, I guess. Like I mean, like there's very few violations I will accept, and then they have to be dealt with. I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, there was this dark-skinned guy named Devontae who thought it was okay to black ass dude. For whatever reason, maybe looking back on it, I think he might have thought it'd been okay to me. Oh, I'm gonna punk this light skinned dude because he's not gonna do something to me. He thought it'd be okay to just throw paper and shit at me in the middle of class. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And
not today.
He just kept
not in my house.
Laughing at my ass, and then I just went over to him and slapped the shit out of him in the middle. I slapped the shit out of him in the middle of class, to his surprise, and he got really tight about it. But it's like, why would you think that's okay for me to do that? Like, I wouldn't just start throwing paper at you, Tord, and not think you're gonna fucking do something to me or put hands on me in some type of way. But like, you felt it was okay to try me, like I'm that dude to style on or some shit. Like, no.
Cat ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
the play into the stereotype. The dark skinned dude would have punched him. Light skinned dude slapped him. Just throwing it out there.
Hey, I would take a punch over a slap any day of the week. I think that's way more disrespectful.
Burn.
But
he just wanted to make some noise.
Somebody hand me the baby powder.
That's pretty funny to think about that.
Smack fire.
But
like, oh, that's true.
But it's just weird. Like, I mean, how far people are willing to take it, and I think again, like, I think it's the dangerous part of it, especially with like dark skinned dudes. Like, I feel like a lot of them the younger kids are kind of accepting of that role, right, especially with the whole intimidation factor. So a lot of these dudes are quick to turn up, and they think it's just a part of like their nature or part of like who they're supposed to be, when really it doesn't have to be. I feel like that's definitely the bad message to say, oh, well, I'm dark skinned, so I'm you gotta be scared of me, or I'm gonna fucking put hands on you, or I don't know what the fuck, like What do you think about this, Blackie? Tor, that's your cue.
Torn, that's your cue. I'm making the stand.
Oh my god. Whatever. Let's talk about let's talk about like what it means for like dark skinned women versus light skinned women, since like I think particularly in hip hop that one is most troubling because you see like a very disproportionate like favor towards women that are lighter skinned or whatever. Sometimes even black women. I would just go like women that are not black and women that are basically white or close to it. And it's getting like it's pretty fucking ridiculous. And then even like with our representation, if ever you watch a show or a movie and it's going to feature a black actress, they usually favor the lighter complexion versus the darker. And I feel like that too can be setting some bad precedents for women and standards of beauty. And again, with those different groups, you have like certain stereotypes. You have like lighter skinned women are supposed to be like nicer and calmer and more prissy and more pretty and maybe more intelligent. I don't know. And dark skinned women are supposed to be a lot more rough around the edges and ghetto and loud and all the negative stuff that we associate with blackness and black people. And it's like basically if you're white, if you're lighter skinned, you're all the qualities associated to whiteness are associated with you, and if you're black, you're just fucking like the worst of the worst. And it's kind of weird that people have kind of taken that to so close to heart. What do you guys think?
A lot of that stuff is portrayed in the media in certain movies and television shows. I mean, kind of portray that image, and that's how people kind of get that. But then again, there are people that do act like that in real life. But I mean, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop, but like, I'm pretty sure that does a lot to either knock down that notion or live up to it. Because I'm sure there's some light-skinned black girls in there to get down and throw hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't watch the show.
Right.
I'm sure that does happen. But then again, on those types of shows, there are some dark-skinned girls, and they do the same shit. And that kind of plays into that thinking of people that aren't black. And they see that, and they just think that's how like all black women are, or at least the dark skinned ones.
Yeah, I feel like Love and Hip Hop is just bad for like black women.
That
Maybe
that
even
is setting us back.
Maybe even women just in general.
Yeah.
Well, like I've heard this idea of like light skinned women think they're better than dark skinned women, like the way they kind of carry themselves. Like, have you ever? I mean, any of you guys, like, have you ever encountered like someone, particularly a light skinned female, like carry herself or think she was better than somebody else because she was light skinned, or better than you because you're dark skinned and she's light skinned, or someone to try to assert their light skinnedness on them? Like, I mean, I've never like it's funny, like again, like I'm not like this. Yeah, I get the same kind of messages and stuff like that everyone else gets from media and from the world, but I've never like, while I'm playing football or basketball, think, oh man, I can't beat that guy. He's fucking dark skinned. He's gotta be faster and stronger than me or whatever. Like, I've never been intimidated in that factor. But I feel like if I was a teenager today, with all the shit going on now, that probably would cross my mind. Like
all these World Star fight videos.
Yeah, like, oh my God, this guy's an animal. But I don't know. Have you guys ever encountered that? Like people try to like assert their lightness?
I knew this light skinned chick. When I was in college, I used to work at this call center for Walgreens, and I used to work overnight with 3 other African American individuals. 2 of which were darker skinned. The other one was kind of tan. And the light skinned chick, she swore up and down that in no way, shape, or form she was of African descent whatsoever. And her comeback a lot of times when they talk about light skin versus dark skin would be like, at least I was in the house though. I thought that was fucking. I don't even know how these conversations would happen, but nonetheless, she used to like swear her shit didn't stink, and that they were, the other 2, in a very weird dick way, were like lesser than her because she was of light skin.
Yeah, I was like,
I've never been a part of too many like conversations about that. I mean, I don't know about you, Ephraim, but I never really been a part of like conversations like dark skin. Like, I mean, I've heard and seen jokes people tell like little one-liners about it, and people just laugh about it, but not like a serious ass conversation about it, or someone that feels like they're above you because I mean they're lighter, or I could beat you up because I'm darker, I'm more stronger. I've never really been a part. I never felt that. I don't
If
know,
you were watching
but-
a boxing match and it was two black guys, and you didn't know who either one of them were, and it was one dark skinned dude and one light skinned dude, and they had similar stats, who would you think was gonna win?
Do we want an honest answer on this one, or you want
Yeah, shit.
stats behind it? I would go with the dark one, but statistically, on average, the champions, like especially the more prominent champions, like Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. A lot of these guys are lighter skinned, and they beat a lot of darkies. But there were a couple like Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, fucking undisputed champ. He was dark as shit.
What about Evander Holyfield?
Vander Holyfield, dark as fuck too.
Buster Douglas.
Yeah, well, he's weak. That's a weak one. That's a weak one.
There's better examples of it, but yeah, like I think to your point, like I never really got a lot of that either from like growing up. I know the one thing, and I thought about it before we did the podcast, like in preparation for this, like just thinking back on my childhood, of, like my mom who's darker skinned, and I think she probably intentionally in a lot of ways didn't like shield us a lot from like discussions of race and doing that thing. But like I remember the one thing she would always like impart on me and my sisters growing up, whenever we get ready for school, and like we wouldn't like brush our hair in the morning. Like, I sometimes fucking want to brush my hair. I just want to walk out the house, whatever. Like, she would get so frustrated, and then she would like grab me and start brushing my hair really hard. Like, oh my god, you even have good hair, and you don't even take care of it. What kind of bullshit is this? I'm like, and then there's like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid. I'm like, what the fuck is good hair? Like, how can hair be good? Like, everyone has fucking hair. Like, but she would always say like little shit like that, and like it would like fuck my head a little bit. But I didn't probably think about it as much because I was a boy. But my sisters, I'm sure, like it dawned on them a lot more. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty mild in comparison to what other people take. But like, again, I think there's a certain group of population of people that like are really obsessed with this shit and like see their world through that prism of color. And again, it has real historical roots, like going back to slavery and like the house Negro versus the field Negro. And then
see, those people had an argument. Like, those guys at that time had a strong reason to dislike one another, one way or the other. Particularly the guys who were not in the house, watching the guy in the house acting all light skinned and like, eating normal and shit. Like that.
I'd fuck you up, EJ.
Why gotta be in the house? Like, not every light skinned dude is up in the house.
Yeah, well, if they weren't in the house, they would like get darker.
Yeah, I guess.
So eventually they become who they hate the most.
I like a long hair, thick red pound. Open up her legs to fillet me on that pussy.
What do you guys think about that? Just in a broader sense, about like when you hear people talk about preference in terms of like, especially within like black females, darker and lighter, or even just females in general, like lighter skin versus darker skin, because I've had like dark skinned females like to my face like up and tell me like, well, I don't like you light skinned niggas, blah blah blah. You guys are all bitches and stuff like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I need me a,
what did I do?
I know exactly, bitch. You didn't even know me. Like, it's like, oh, I need me a dark skinned chocolate man to handle this pussy. I was like, really? Like, because he's darker skinned, you just associate, you can like beat the pussy up. And it's like, again, like
the
like,
same thing we're talking about.
The people,
like
yeah,
that,
exactly.
yeah.
Like accepting certain stereotypes because it suits you, whatever. Like, I was like, what the fuck, man? I don't know.
You came over here like, I could beat that pussy up.
Yeah, for real, bitch. You like,
yeah, I mean, let me interview for that pussy.
Give me a shot, man. Like, what the fuck? I've noticed this shit a lot with some of my darker skinned friends that will get on some shit about like, oh, well, I'll never date outside my race. Oh, I want a black girl, blah blah blah. But like,
I need me a queen.
Yeah, they need me like a Nubian queen. But they consistently date the lightest skinned black girl possible that they can. And I think that speaks volumes too. And I don't know why people don't get caught on that shit either. And like for me personally, like I've dated like at this point every hue, every color. Yeah. I've dated basically every type of nationality too, being like black, white, Spanish, Asian. And it's never like me seeking this shit out, whatever. It's kind of just what happens. But I always find it, I'm always curious when I find people that say, oh, I will never date this group, whatever that group is, or whatever that color is. I'm like, why? Like,
seriously. You missing out on so much, buddy.
I know, man.
Everybody brings something to the table.
Exactly.
Everybody. Any kind of race, creed, religion, whatever. Everybody brings something to the table. You know what? Sample. Taste the rainbow. Whatever the case is. enjoy.
Once I
But like,
taste the rainbow, I just look at it as free samples in the mall food court.
I just did another joke that didn't go over. I'm your conscience.
Have you ever noticed, either one of you guys, a difference between a dark-skinned girl you dated versus a light-skinned girl you've dated? Or they're all just the same? Not even talking about sexual or anything like that, but just even just personality, or have you experienced some like dark-skinned love or like light-skinned love? Is there a difference? Like,
Now, this one dark skinned girl I dated a while back. This not necessarily deal with like love or anything, but I just seemed like she was more, and I guess it just draws into what we're talking about. But just she was more willing to like, I guess, snap on people, not take shit from people more than the lighter skinned chick. But like,
these fries is cold. I don't know, man. Not too many Sharkeishas approach me, but so I've talked to a couple.
okay, handle me.
I've talked to a couple black chicks, but usually on average, like the chicks that I usually talk to that happen to be African American or something like that are light skinned chicks. I think it goes like the feeling is it's like reciprocates or whatever the fuck it is, mutual. Like we get it. I'm cool with it.
I mean, I've been around more like, you know, Hispanic chicks. I mean, I grew up or lived in a mainly Hispanic neighborhood. I went to like, a mainly Hispanic high school, so like that's more of my, I guess, experience with. But so I mean, you can still play in that pool.
No, I'm fucking all down with brown chicks. That's cool. Like no matter what kind of brown chicks are cool. Period. It helps that like Dominican chicks are like fucking everything. Hispanic chicks in general are like every fucking thing. And on average, I like them light skinned fucking brown broads. Some bitches are bad. But like in regards to preference, like it seems like on average people, especially that are like not maybe even some black dudes, whatever. On average, like the light skinned chicks is more palatable to a lot of people. Like if you hear someone, this is like obviously like a very easy one to go to, but like if you talk to anybody that's not black and ask them, what do you think about Beyonce? Beyonce is fucking hot. Oh, she's so sexy, this and that, whatever. What do you think of Kelly? Yeah, she ain't bad. She ain't bad for a black chick.
Or like, go like if you even ask like someone like, hey, what type of black girl would you have sex with? Whatever. It's like Beyonce, Rihanna, Halle Berry, Nicki Minaj, maybe. But like, there's a common thread between all those. Like,
what do you think the
they all make
correlation
money.
is like? They have money.
They all make money. Yeah.
Sure.
But they're like also they're like, I think there's kind of what comes to mind. I think when you think of like black chick right now, because they're just, I guess they're on top of the game right now. Mm. But there's also, I guess the correlation is that's part of the reason why.
There's some dark skinned chicks out on top of the game too. They just don't get to shine, like fucking Jordan Dunn or like or Gabrielle Union or Nia Long. I was kind of reaching back a little bit, but
you're really going back.
But definitely Jordan Dunn. I put her up there. Whatever. The Nia Long's up there still, but whatever.
I looked at that bitch's Instagram the other day. That bitch is still super fine.
Yeah. Nia Long?
Yeah. Good God, that's awesome.
But have you ever had a girl, any type of girl, white girl, black girl, like seek you out because you're dark skinned male, be like, oh yeah, come get this, or show any type of preference towards you because of your skin tone?
Wrap those big black arms around me.
Can't say that I have. Not that at least she didn't make it aware to me. That was
give me that nigga dick. Whatever.
What the fuck?
Have a Danny Glover moment.
Can't say that I have. Frame.
Yeah, missing out. Man,
tap into it.
I'm telling you, man. Like, how these dark skin girls tell me like, what's up? So there's definitely a market for you. You can just capitalize off of just be you and black. That's why they always say, stay black, man. Stay black, and you can get yours.
Imagine on like this like fucking Match.com or Tinder or some shit like that. If you put like African American, would they like have like light skin or dark skin and see how that shit panned out?
Damn.
I'm sure we'll do numbers.
Sounds like a good experiment.
That's the thing too. Like people talk about like, particularly with like if you have a white girl or some shit like that, like, and they have like a preference for black guys. Like I don't think I'm probably like I can probably count on my hand the times I've been the beneficiary of that type of preference, because if a white girl or whoever girl like has a preference for black guys, they're usually not talking about people that look like me. Like they're talking about like dark skin, whatever, more chestnut, whatever bullshit type of
Tay Diggs
type shit ever. Like if they're looking for a black guy, if they're looking at me, as a black guy is because I'm black enough. And then, like, so like they're not like just gonna throw up that jaw. Like, oh, this is a black guy, or whatever. Like in their mind, that's at least in my experience.
I do just enough to fit the bill.
There you go.
Good
I can
God.
Obama this shit out. Like you wouldn't beat your parents or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Obama this shit out.
Oh,
I fucking
God.
love this. I could talk about this for years.
Oh man.
You can't be picky, man. Why would you be picky to say I'm only gonna date this type of toned skin person or these types of people? Like that's just stupid to me. Like,
and then, that's the thing with
So-
preference. Like I don't like people throw it all the time, especially if you push back on anyone's like preference in terms of who they have sex with or who they make their girlfriends or boyfriends. And like I agree
all
to a
pink in the
point.
middle,
Like
man.
I don't think it's anyone's role to question what their preference is. Like even if I have strong opinions on like, oh, you only date light-skinned girls or white girls or whatever, like it's still not my position to say and point a finger and say, oh, you're wrong for doing this, because I don't necessarily know your reasons. But I think everyone should be conscious and be aware of like the messages they receive and how that pertains to who they choose to mate with, and like
what
if
in
it
your
comes from a
life
dangerous
has
place.
happened, or what is it about you that makes you choose that preference?
Yeah, like
and that's what I was saying. Like me growing up and going to like an all like pretty much 80-90% Hispanic high school, growing up in a Hispanic neighborhood. I guess that's my background, and maybe why I find, Hispanic women. I don't know. That's kind of, I guess, more my taste. I don't know.
Right.
So, like,
I've been around like Hispanic guys who've like spent little to no time at all around black women, but they have like this strong opinions on why they would never date a black girl, and like I don't think they've ever thought about like, okay, you don't even interact with black women. Some of them not that many black people, but they have all these opinions on them. So it's also being that void is being filled in by media representations of what they think they know about black people or black women in particular.
Like I was saying, like when people flip through channels and they see some shit like Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, exactly.
They never been around them, and then they see that shit and like, oh, I've never did.
Like I remember this guy. He was like, I was like, oh, why would you never date a black girl? It's like, oh man, like they're all so loud and they're all like gold diggers. They're after your money and shit like that. They're all like money hungry and shit. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then I don't know if you asked him this, but you can just think like, what makes him get that perception?
Yeah.
If he's never been around them or talked to him or really get to know a black chick, so what's fueling that?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I think that's why I feel like everyone. It's not my place to question it for him, but I think he and everyone whoever that dates, like if I'm a white guy and all I end up dating is Asian women, I think somewhere down like and someone asks like, oh, why do you like Asian girls so much? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, they're just really nice. Like maybe
a couple years in Nam, man.
Yeah, maybe you spent that time in Nam in the Korean War or some shit, or maybe you're watching a lot of porn and you're just seeing how these stereotypes about Asian women being portrayed, about them being submissive and them being like over-sexualized.
I'm really about the respect. I like the respect aspect of it. I don't know, man. I'm all about.
Is another thing too. I mean, like maybe they feel like they may want to date a black chick or someone of a different race, but like their family, they look down on them for getting with someone like
that's
that.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah,
that's a whole
yeah. But that also is also a reason of why they may choose to only date a certain type or not to date a certain type.
No, I agree.
Mean, there's different reasons, and that could be one of them. You know what I mean? And,
very true.
They probably hook up with them, but not like be with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, there's many different reasons that people may have to why they choose a certain race. Me, I don't care. My family doesn't care. You know what I mean? I brought my some chicks around like people I've known in the past of different.
They go
kinds,
touring with this white girl
and different kinds.
That white devil,
Jackal,
kissing a dog in the mouth.
Anyhow, that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, streaming, however which you found a way to listen to this shit. Please continue to hit up our SoundCloud, subscribe, fucking rate, get out our iTunes. The podcast is there, motherfuckers. We're going to put more attention into the website. Check that shit out. Get at us.
Till next time.
Peace, suckers.